everyone, thank you for coming to my channel. As you can tell, this is my very first YouTube video, so I hope you all enjoy it. I will be doing a everyday makeup tutorial. This is kind of a natural, I mean it's obviously not natural, but it is my everyday minimal makeup tutorial. So if you want to know how to get this look, please keep watching. After you have your primer on, you want to go ahead and do your foundation. What I use is the Dior Skin Forever foundation in the shade 20. The only thing I have to say about this is that it does not come in a lot of shades. So if you are very fair skinned, then it will not have your shade. But other than that, I love it. I think it's a perfect foundation. It's buildable. I just squirt this right on my face. And then I go in with a flat top foundation brush. This is from Ulta. It's by It Cosmetics and it is number 110. So you're just gonna wanna blend this into your face. Don't go too high up to your eyes because you will be going in with concealer. So once you're done blending in your foundation, you want to go in with a concealer. I use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the color Creme Brulee. I think the consistency is really good. It is a full coverage concealer, but it will not crease under your eyes. So you want to go in right under your eye, but not too close to your tear duct, and then bring it outwards. This also acts as it brightens up the brighter parts of your face. So it's kind of like contouring. Yeah. So you want to put it on your chin as well and your forehead. And then you want to go down the bridge of your nose. Okay, so now that you have the concealer on and you look like a warrior princess, you're going to want to go in with a damp beauty sponge. I use this one from Real Techniques. It's literally only $4. It's much cheaper than the beauty blenders. So you're going to want to go ahead and blend this out. Okay, so you want to dab this. Do not rub. Dabbing it will help it really get into your pores and help, you know, make it look more flawless. And you also want to bring it up around your eyelids because this will act as a eyeshadow primer when you go ahead and do your eyeshadow. Alright, now that you have it all, your concealer blended in, you're going to want to go in with either a color powder or a translucent powder. I use my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I just think it helps make your makeup look flawless as you set it. I'm going to go in again with my foundation brush. I use this for multiple things. I use it for my foundation, my translucent powder, and I use it as a bronzer brush. multitasking, you know. And then when you have a good amount in your lid, you want to go ahead and dip your brush into it and then tap off the excess. And now with the initial touch to the face of the powder, you're going to want to dab it. And then you want to go in circular motions and get on your eyelids, because this will help your eyeshadow blend flawlessly. It's like a crack house up in here. Okay, and then after you set your foundation and concealer with the translucent powder or colored powder, you want to go in with a translucent powder for sure. So I just go ahead and put this in my lid again, and then I use a damp beauty sponge to bake under my eyes so that way the concealer will stay all day and you will not have dark circles. Also, I like to bake my chin because I feel like a lot of people, you know, touch their chin throughout the day. And I bake my nose, so like right here where my sunglasses, or if you wear eyeglasses, where it will hit, and then right here, because if you wipe your nose throughout the day, then it will break up, but this will keep it very very set. And then I also do my forehead. You want to get as much on your beauty sponge as possible, and once again, dab, do not rub. Okay, so fun fact, I learned this from Jaclyn Hill. The reason it is called baking is because your concealer under the powder, this thick powder, is literally baking to your body heat, and it will make it bulletproof throughout the day, so that's why it's called baking. Okay, so while you let that bake, you're going to want to do your eyeshadow. You can do your contour as well during this time, but I like to wait until all the powder is gone. Oh well, my preference. So, I use the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. This palette Okay, this palette is amazing because the colors are so pigmented and very, very blendable. I have not found a palette like it. I have a Tarte palette, I have Urban Decay. The Urban Decay palettes, this one's my favorite. So yeah. I go in with this color right here, the Warm Taupe. And then you just want to go right into your crease. You can be messy with this part because you will be going in with more color later. This is the one that this is basically the initial color. So you definitely want to go in with a lot. Okay, so after you put the eyeshadow into your crease, you want to wipe off the end of your blending brush and just really blend that into your brow bone. And make sure that there are no harsh lines. And then I go with the other end of this brush. I go in with the other end of this brush and I dip it into, oh my god, how do you say that? Cypress. I go in with Cypress Under, which is the darkest brown shade in the palette. So I go ahead and kind of in a sweeping motion, dip it into the palette. And what you're going to do is put it right on your outer lash line and go back and forth in sweeping motions and gradually go up. Dip some more. This makes it a very natural cat eye. Because you're kind of using as little product as possible while still using a fair amount. Okay, so once you have this darker color in the outer corner, you want to go in with the blending end of your brush and blend it all out. Really make sure that you blend it out right here in the outer corner. Okay, so now that you have all of this blended out, I use a flat eyeshadow brush, kind of like this. It is a Ulta brand. It actually came in like one of those like Ulta kits, like with all of the different makeup, and it was just like one of the brushes that it came in. So any flat brush will do. And I go in with this gorgeous color, Vermeer, right there. It's a beautiful lid color. So I go ahead and dip that into my palette, tap off the excess, and then I put it right on the lid. I do not go all the way over here because it will take away from that brown. So don't put it over the dark brown. I also go ahead and put that in my inner corner. Okay, so now that we have the lid color on, I go in with this brush again. I use this end that we used for the dark brown color, and I dip it into this warm taupe again. So I dip it in here, and then I go all the way on my lower lash line. And you can be messy with this just because it is the initial color. Okay? And then I go in with that flat top eyeshadow brush again, and I dip it into that dark brown that we used for the outer corner of our eye. I dip it in there, and I just go on the very, very outer corner of my lower lash line. So you're going to want to go in with this end of the brush and go ahead and blend all of that out, just where you put the lid color and under the eye. Okay, so go in with this tempera color, and this is going to be our upper brow bone color. And then once you put the color on, you want to blend it in with those browns. Alright. So now that we have done our eyeshadow, we can go ahead and get rid of this bakingness. Okay, so I go ahead and use this brush once again to just sweep it away. Make sure you don't inhale the powder, okay? Because, ew. Just don't inhale it, please. And now for my nose, because I don't want to inhale it, I literally sweep down and don't breathe. Don't breathe. Alright, so now that we have all of the translucent powder off of our face, we want to go in with the bronzer. So, I do not contour my face. Only for special occasions, like if I had a dance or like a really important dinner or something like that, I would contour, but since this is an everyday look, we just want to use bronzer to kind of sculpt, but not contour. So I'm going in with my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer. This is literally the sample size that I got from Sephora, like for points or whatever, because I'm broke. So I just use points. So this is what it looks like. It is matte, but it still has kind of like a little shimmer to it. It smells so good. Since it's called Chocolate Soleil, it literally smells like chocolate, so love me my chocolate. Now, this does break up quite a bit when I dip it onto my brush, so just be careful when you do it. Okay, so I just pat this right along my hairline and really blend it out, kind of like in these corners just because of the shape of my face, and then I bring it into the center. So you really want the majority of the bronzer to be up in your hairline and blend it out into the rest of your face. And then once again, bring it to the center. And then you want to bring it down towards your temples. And then, since this is such a big brush, I use like the outer corners of it and dip it into the bronzer. So I kind of like do it like that. And I kind of start in the like middle of where I want it to be, and I do not go down at first. For the initial swipe, I go up. And I like to bring the bronzer up towards my cheek, because if we go down, it'll make it look very muddy. Okay, and then you want to bring it up towards your temple again. We don't want too much color in our temples just because it will bring our face in way too much and it will not look pretty. Okay, other side. Okay, so now that you have your bronzer on, you want to go in with blush. This again is a sample from Sephora. It is from the birthday gift for May because it was just my birthday. And it's in the shade Party. Multiple A's. Okay, so I use the Pro Featherweight Complexion Sephora brush in number 90. It literally feels like feathers. I mean, super soft. So I just dip that in there. And I kind of do it in a circular sweeping up motion, if that makes sense. I definitely want it to go up towards my temple and in circles. So you want to go in and dip this like how you're going to apply it to your face. And then I go right on my cheekbone and then down like when you smile on the very inner apple of your cheek. And then up on your brow bone. And then again on the other side. And then you're going to want to do it on the tip of your nose. Kind of like the bridge of your nose right there. Not too much. And then you're going to want to do your Cupid's bow. With whatever you have left, you're going to want to put it on your chin and on your forehead. Now, if you have oily skin, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I just do it because I don't really have that much oil on my skin. Okay, so now that we have all of this done, what I go in with next is my, I do my eyebrows. So I go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the shade Blonde. I also use the brush that they recommend, which is the Anastasia number 14 brush. I love this brush because it has this spoolie at the end of it. So you're going to want to go ahead and brush those bad boys out. And now you're going to want to go for a very natural look, okay? So I start at the bottom of my brow. And I don't bring it in quite yet because I want the majority of the color to go right in the middle. And then take whatever is on that line and bring it up towards your upper eyebrow. Okay, and then dip your brush into the pomade again and go at the top of your eyebrow, but not in the very inner corner again. So kind of like the middle. And then bring whatever excess color you have right into the middle to really fill in your brows. So now with the excess that you have from where you first started, you're going to want to kind of bring it into the corner. This will give it a very natural look. So this kind of gives that like faded brow that you see everywhere nowadays. Dip your brush into your pomade again, and this is where you want to create that sharp line right in the inner corner of your eyebrow. So you create that very sharp line, and then you want to really blend it into the transition between the inner corner to the thickness of the outer. And then you want to bring all that color up from the bottom. And if you feel like it's a little too much, you can just take your spoolie and really blend it out. And then with whatever is left on your spoolie, you're going to want to draw brush, I don't know, a few hairs in the very inner corner to kind of give that squarish shape. While you're gonna want to go for like a squarish shape right here, do not make it like a box. Okay, so now that your brows are nice and natural, so now that I have all of this done, I go ahead and do my setting spray now, which is the Mario Badescu Skincare Facial Spray with Aloe Herbs and Rose Water. I go ahead and use this just because if I do it with my mascara, I feel like it will kind of come off onto my lids and like around my makeup and stuff, and you don't want that. So I go ahead and spray this all over my face. And then just kind of let it dry. So with the mascara, I kind of look down at my mirror and go in at a zigzag motion. And then I go ahead and do the top of my lashes and then go back through the bottom to kind of comb them out and make them curl. Because my lashes are kind of naturally curly. Like they kind of naturally curl. Okay, and then for my bottom lashes, I look down. Now you kind of want to wait for your top lashes to dry just a tad. Like you don't want it to touch your eyelid. And if it does, I'll show you how to get rid of it. Okay, and if you want to do a second coat, you can. I don't, just because this is my everyday look, but if you accidentally get your mascara on your eyelid or anywhere on your skin, you can just wait for it to dry and use a spoolie brush. I just use like this one, I don't know, and to scrape it like off, and it won't mess up your eyeshadow or anything like that. If you want to separate some of your lashes, you can go ahead and use that spoolie brush, your spoolie brush for that as well. Okay, so now that that is done, we go ahead and go in with lipstick. This is my all-time favorite liquid lipstick. I love it. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Pure Hollywood. I think this is a perfect nude, like kind of like a nudish pink. I think it's a great everyday look. It's like a good color, but it doesn't take away from your eye makeup. It kind of like balances it out. Now the key to getting a good liquid lip is to only do as little swipes as possible. So for like upper lip, you just want to do like one swipe. For your bottom lip, you want to do like maybe 2. This will keep it from like cracking up in the middle, and it'll help it last all day. So yeah. Alright, so that is the end of my everyday makeup tutorial. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I will be posting more videos. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing for my next video, so if you have any recommendations or requests or anything like that, go ahead and put that down in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to hear everyone's feedback about it. So yeah, thank you all for watching. See you next time. Some of your lashes, you can go ahead and do that with your spoolie brush. Psst. Allie! Allie! And if you want to go ahead and separate your lash, Beth! We can take the muffins out of the oven. No. That was so bad. That wasn't even good. Okay. I literally look like I've been snorting cocaine, like... Oh my god. Like... Okay. And then you're going to want to use that same end, dip it into tempura. Tempura? Oh my god, shrimp tempura. Let's look at it together.
Unplugging.